Have you watched a TV show that you were semi-enjoying, but then something else comes along and takes up all your time? Then you never went back to finish that series? That was me in Mandalorian Season 3. I got 2 episodes and stopped because of Resident Evil 4 remake, and I never went back. I have done the same thing with other new Star Wars shows too. I say, yeah, I'm planning on watching it, but it never happened. That also goes with Star Wars news too. I say I will read the article to get excited for the future of this franchise, but I never do. If I'm not engaging in any part of this franchise anymore, the question that comes to my mind is, do I even like Star Wars anymore? I wouldn't say this is a unique opinion to share on the internet. Over the years, I've seen plenty of content creators express the same opinion. The reason why I fell off liking Star Wars was because of Rise of Skywalker. Over time, this movie has become the worst Star Wars movie to me. I'm not saying every Star Wars movie before this was perfect, but thanks to the Clone Wars, we see George Lucas's original plan for the prequel trilogy. While The Rise of Skywalker shows Disney had no plan to begin with. And to me, Disney learned the wrong lesson from Rise of Skywalker. Ever since this movie, they've been banking on nostalgia even more. Mandalorian was praised as a standalone TV show that didn't rely on nostalgia to make a good show. Instead, it focused on the current cast and the plot it was telling. Then in season 2, it felt like a studio exec walked into the pitch room and said, you gotta have some cameos. What if we had Ahsoka, Boba Fett, and Luke Skywalker appear in the show? Would that be cool? I guess. Are we going to recast Luke with a young actor like Sebastian Stan? Mark Hamill even said he would be a good young Luke Skywalker. God no, we're gonna CGI that whole thing.
This is disgusting.
Yes, so what does Luke do? He takes Grogu to train him to be a Jedi, giving us a bittersweet ending to Mando and Grogu's relationship. You do remember what happened to Luke's temple, right? Oh dear God, we need to fix this right now. Can we at least wait till Mandalorian Season 3? Just have 2 episodes in Book of Boba Fett undoing everything. Does this not undercut the emotional ending in Season 2, making it feel like they were only away from each other for a couple minutes while also killing any pacing the Book of Boba Fett might have had? Feels like we're making a lot of sacrifices to the show just for these cameos. Hey, can you shut up or—
You're fired!
It shows to me that nostalgia is more important to them than telling an actual plot. However, I heard the same content creators that feel the same way as me with Star Wars say Andor is pretty good and to give it a chance. When the show was announced, I just did not care about it. Even though Rogue One is the best Disney Star Wars film, which is not saying much, at the time it felt like a unnecessary addition just like Solo and Obi-Wan. So I skipped it. But let's give this franchise one last shot and see if it answers the title of the video. Let's start with Season 1. Andor is a prequel series before Rogue One that follows Cassian Andor's misadventures going against the Empire. You know, the classic misadventures like murder, bank heists, and prison breaks. Fun time for the whole family. I would like to remind you that Star Wars is going to be 48 years old this year, and would say this is the first Disney Plus Star Wars show that respects the audience. Respect by making every character matter, no matter how little screen time they have. That doesn't mostly happen in every Star Wars show. For example, the Book of Boba Fett. In episode 3 of Book of Boba Fett, they established a street gang that helps out Boba Fett throughout the series to clean up the streets in Tatooine. You would think they would flesh them out as individuals, right? Nope, not at all. I could not tell you a single thing about them or their names because how forgettable they are. Now on the flip side, let me tell you about Skeen, one of the crew members that helps Andor during the bank heist episodes. Throughout the bank heist arc, we see Skeen always hanging out with Nemik, the youngest and kindest member of the group. Before the heist, to gain more trust with each other, they start exchanging stories with each other. Skeen tells a story about how he grew up on a farm with his brother growing peppers till the Empire flooded their land. This loss causes his brother to take his own life, which explains why he's always hanging out with Nemik, because he sees him as his younger brother. During the heist, Nemik gets hurt and needs to see a doctor. You would think Skeen would be worried about Nemik, but instead, we see him trying to convince Andor to split the heist money 50-50 and run away. Then he drops this line.
Your brother with the orchard?
I don't have a brother.
What?
No, all right. I know that sounds bad.
One of the many deaths in the show. While talking about deaths, Star Wars has a problem in making death matter. When you kill off a character, it should affect and change the people close around them. The fact they shot a scene where Luke reacts to Han Solo's death and decided to cut it from Last Jedi is insane to me. Andor doesn't have that problem. Every death serves a purpose, even Skeen's death. Andor reflects and sees lots of his worst aspects within Skeen. But I'm not that bad. Let me go visit some friends and family and give some of my money I earned for the heist to prove to myself
I'm a good person, yes it's true.
Based on a conversation with a friend, the murder of the two Empire police officers he committed to defend himself at the beginning of the show has radically changed the town for the worse. The Empire has tightened their grip on the town. They have set up a home base in the middle of town where they can capture any citizen for any reason and torture them for information. Learning this information, he quickly tries to convince his adopted mother to leave town with him and live a peaceful life with his earnings from the bank heist. Instead, his mother is inspired by people who committed the heist and wants to raise a rebellion to reclaim the town. A rebellion that Andor doesn't believe in.
Tell me you understand.
I don't.
To him, it's not even possible to fight back against the Empire because how pure evil and powerful they are. There are multiple scenes in the show where we cut to the Empire holding a meeting, and the meeting's just basically them discussing what's the worst thing we can do to prey on the weak. For example, after Andor's bank heist, the Empire implement a tribute tax that equals 5 times the amount stolen to any section that has a hint of rebellion activity. Holding a local festival? Yep, that's rebel activity. Now every citizen in that sector faces the new tax policy. It gets worse. Andor goes to prison, not for the murders or the bank heist, just for looking suspicious in front of a stormtrooper. Then in the prison, instead of having guards everywhere watching them, they have these electric shock floors that can kill anyone throughout the whole prison that can be activated for any bullshit reason. Instead, let's have prisoners watch over other prisoners, because to the Empire, they are nothing. This system is so evil, it makes Kino, a prisoner who watches over Andor's floor, believe if he just does his job until his prison sentence is done, then he will be set free. He has this belief even when inmates around him tell him that they think their sentences are sometimes triple length for no reason. He is completely brainwashed. Then the harsh reality slips in. We start hearing rumors that an inmate in a different section of the prison has finally hit his sentence with 0. Instead of setting him free, they just add more time to his sentence, which leads to a riot. To contain the truth, they just shock everyone in that section, killing them all. This rumor is confirmed to be true when one of the inmates needs medical attention. Kino tells the inmate to stay with him. You're almost done with your sentence. When a prisoner giving the medical attention instead puts him to sleep and confirms all the rumors are true. It finally snaps Kino back to reality, leading to Kino giving an motivational speech that makes all the prisoners say, "Fuck the Empire."
We are being transferred to some other prison to go and die. And that ends today.
After escaping the prison, Andor becomes the person we see in Rogue One, a leader who believes in the rebellion because he experienced it firsthand. An actual compelling character arc in a Disney Plus Star Wars show?
Are you sure?
You know what's truly unbelievable? After everything horrible the Empire does in the show, they have these characters in the Empire where you relate to them. For example, early in the show, we are introduced to a new police officer named Sterling. He cares a lot about his job.
Can one ever be too aggressive in preserving order?
In fact, when Andor murders the police officer, he presents this case to the manager, hoping he will be assigned the task to find Andor for the glory of the Empire.
I want you to conjure a suitable accident.
But they were murdered.
I missed the part where that's my problem.
And decides to pursue the case anyway, which blows up in his face. This situation leads to him losing his job and him moving back with his mother. And this is one of the first things his mother says to him.
You might as well wear a sign that says, I promise to disappoint you.
Mother of the Year right there. We all experience feeling worthless and wanting to prove everyone who doubted you wrong. He grew up hearing stories about how great the Empire is. He doesn't know all the stories he was told as a kid were lies from a corrupt system.
My source is that I made it the fuck up.
To him, the Empire, they bring justice across the galaxy, and the rebels are the problem. He believes moving up in the Empire is the only way for him to prove everyone who doubted him wrong. Then on the other side, we have Deborah. Deborah starts out similar to Cyril. She's also an underdog in the Empire. She's trying to prove to her superiors she earned her spot within the Empire and she deserves more. The more is the key factor. She's power hungry and will do anything to gain that power. Unlike Cyril, she knows exactly what the Empire is doing. To her and the Empire, the rebels are
The longer we wait to identify a disorder, the harder it is to treat the disease.
They will do anything to wipe out this disease. Torturing a rebel to gain more information, that's just another Tuesday for her, and she enjoys every second of it.
You're not gonna believe me anyway, are you?
The more she wipes out this disease, the better she gets rewarded with higher positions of power, which continues the vicious cycle of her hurting the weak and then getting rewarded for it. However, she is not happy because there is one rebel scum she can't find. And this rebel scum is Luthen, a rebel spy mastermind who disguised himself as an antique dealer in Coruscant. In Coruscant, he creates a team of double agents working within their empire. One of the members of his team is an Imperial officer who relays information to him. He uses this information to come with plans like the bank heist and make rebel leaders like Vale to execute the plan. While another spy is in Imperial Senate, she's looking for ways to take away funds from the Empire and use them to build up the rebel base. Right now, there is no base of operations. It's just a bunch of rebel spies working within the Empire, hoping they won't get caught. Luthen knows the rest, but he doesn't care. His one goal in life is to take down the Empire by any means necessary. So if he needs to manipulate or kill people for the greater good of the rebels, he will do it. For example, early in the season, Luthen meets Andor. Andor has not gone through his character arc yet, so right now he's focused on selling items to Luthen and running away before the cops catch up to him. Luthen knows he needs a skillful pilot like Andor to pull off the bank heist, so we watch him manipulate Andor to join him.
Why would I go anywhere with you?
Don't you want to fight these bastards for real?
And after the bank heist, he tries to kill Andor. To him, Andor's a loose end that could expose his whole operation to the Empire. The only reason why he doesn't is because Andor proved to him that he's more valuable alive than dead. Luthen will accomplish his goal no matter what. He has come to peace with his miserable life, knowing some people within the rebel will only see him as a liar or killer, when in actuality, he is the person willing to sacrifice everything to get the job done.
So what do I sacrifice? Everything!
I think it's been 4 or 5 minutes of me praising Season 1. Are there any negatives? I'm sure if I put on my Cinnamon Sense hat on and become an annoying Star Wars fan and tell you how this scene breaks Star Wars canon, but I don't care because it doesn't affect the show for me. It's not just a good Star Wars show, it's just a good show in general. However, we all seen shows that have an amazing first season and then mess it up in the follow-up season. Let's see if Season 2 avoids that mistake. Season 2 takes a different approach than Season 1. The show jumps into the future, eventually leading us to the events of Rogue One. The first arc is setting up the main conflict for the season. We see a meeting with the top-level Empire officers. This is where Krennic proceeds to play a video on the purpose of the meeting.
Incredible amount of how do we get the count cut? How do we get the take the planet, the inhabitants inhabitants, whatever.
To make it worse, in order to get enough Calcite to satisfy Daddy Palpatine, they need to keep mining the core of the planet until it collapses. In Season 1, we saw the reason why a rebellion needs to happen. Now in Season 2, we see the cost of the rebellion. It all goes back to Luthen's monologue about him sacrificing everything for the rebellion. Throughout the season, we see every character sacrifice something for the rebellion. Let's talk about Binks first. In last season, she was tortured by Deborah for refusing to tell information about Cassian, a moment that she has not fully recovered from. See her trying to move on by living a simple life of farming and hiding away from the Empire, so even leading to her pursuing a relationship with Andor. However, everything good has to come to an end. Empire comes in for a routine check while Andor is on a mission, which leads to a scene that I know Disney executives' leadership tried to remove.
I'm begging you.
Such a simple choice.
Yep, kids, this is not your normal Star Wars show. The Empire is full of evil people. It's not just Palpatine. It's everyone in this corrupt system. They will use their power to take advantage of the weak no matter what position they are. Bing quickly shows this piece of shit that no means no. This asshole has a brutal death and everyone is happy. Cassian follows up this death by flying in with a TIE fighter. Binks and Cassian quickly make their escape. Luthen finds them a new safe house in Coruscant. Binks again tries to get over her nightmares by living a normal life, and this time using drugs to get through the day, but it's not working. Which leads to her tracking down the doctor who tortured her and give him a taste of his own medicine. No more hiding, it's time to fight back. A statement that Gorman citizens are following. Gorman citizens are holding a meeting about raising a rebellion against the Empire. Luthen sends Andor to see how the rebel efforts are going. Andor notices how incredibly underprepared they are. They are not soldiers, they are citizens that are scared of what is coming to their home, and the Empire is moving fast. Andor believes they will be crushed by the Empire in seconds, which leads to a disagreement between him and Luthen about next steps. Luthen wants him to raid an Empire vehicle to give them weapons. To Andor, this will only speed up the Empire takeover even more, leading to loss of more innocent lives.
If it goes up in flames,
It will burn very brightly.
Andor thinks Luthen's plan is crazy. Luthen sends Vel instead. It's been established she and Luthen have been working together for years. Over time, she has grown feelings for a fellow co-worker. She's starting to think about the end goal. Is this truly what I want for my life? Going from dangerous assignments for the rest of your life and hoping that the luck doesn't run out. So when she is given this assignment, she expresses her feelings, which leads to a full embrace between each other. A gay relationship in a Disney Plus Star Wars show? I know the creator from the show came out and said Disney did not interfere with the show. I don't know, man. It's a little bit suspicious, especially how Disney treats gay characters. For example, Owl House is a great animated show that aired on Disney. However, it has gay characters, and Disney does not like that. So they canceled the show after its third season, which forced the creators to rush storyline. The creator of the show even posted on Reddit saying that was the case. Star Wars is the same way. Do I even need to bring up the gay kiss in The Rise of Skywalker that disappeared for some reason for the international markets? Now, in Andor, you build up to this moment for about a season and a half now, it's finally been established, and then you kill it off 5 minutes later. It's incredibly underwhelming and stands out when everything else is so good. Whatever. Maybe in the next Star Wars show we get at least one episode of established gay relationship before they kill them off. Now that the Gorman citizens have weapons, the Empire knows they need a man inside to know what the citizens are planning. It's Sterling time. Unlike the rebels, his life is going pretty well. He found someone willing to stand up for him against his mother.
Quite a mouthful.
I'm not done.
Also, he received a promotion from the Empire, being a key figurehead in the Gorman operation. He starts going to meetings held by the Gorman citizens and relay the information to the Empire. However, after years of working in this position, he starts to understand the Gorman struggle against the Empire. However, it's too late. The Empire is tired of waiting and slowly taking over the planet.
Anyway, I started blasting. Bang! Bang!
Cyril is in shock and does not know how to react until seeing Andor. No more empathy for the Gorman citizens. Now he's filled with rage. The person who ruined his life is right in front of him, and he's about to kill Deborah. Catching Andor by surprise, he gets the advantage, and he's about to kill him until Andor drops this line.
Who are you?
Loser! You're a loser!
Once again, he stands there shocked. He has spent his entire life trying to be someone that makes a difference. And the person who he dedicated his life to hunt down doesn't even know his name. With his mind racing with thoughts of him being a true nobody and his mom being great, he lowers his gun. Cyril's death and Gorman's citizens are nothing to the Empire. They'll be forgotten by today. Who cares about them? But to Andor, their screams will last him for the rest of his life. These deaths can't be forgotten. Everyone needs to know what happened here before the Empire covers it up. This is where Ma Mothra comes into play. Over the course of 2 seasons, she has made her own sacrifices for the rebellion. Her job is to raise funds for the rebellion. Just like Luthen, she has to put on a disguise. But unlike Luthen, she has to keep up an act in front of her own daughter and husband. We are shown that she has to handle everything because her husband is horrible. He is addicted to gambling and goes on benders with no care for his family at all. In fact, the only reason why they are together is because their family has this dumb religion tradition. In order to satisfy everyone, Ma Mothra had to be married at the age of 14.
Ew, that's disgusting.
With the Empire tightening their grips around everything, she is no longer able to pull money the same way. During a party, she runs into a banker named Tay and tells him she needs some money. Tay is willing to give the money, only if his son could marry her daughter. Now she is forced to make her own daughter go through the same pain she did, continuing the vicious cycle. After the events at Gorman, she knows money is not enough and she needs people to wake up from the Empire brainwash. This is where she delivers an amazing speech right in front of the Empire.
What happened yesterday on Gorman was unprovoked genocide.
The Empire responds by trying to kill her, of course. Luckily, Andor escorts her to safety. Andor returns from this mission, and he has the same thoughts as Vale. I've given everything for this cause. Throughout my entire life, I have lost everything. I have lost my mother, I've lost my friends, and I've seen thousands and thousands of innocent people die right in front of me. I have given them everything. However, they sacrificed too much just to lose, and Binks knows it too. Knowing the rebellion needs him, and without her, he has nothing left to distract him from the cause.
If you ever give this up for me, I'd never forgive myself.
During the final years of Rogue One, we see Luther meet up with a rebel spy. Spy tells him the reason why the Empire destroyed Gorman. It's to build the Death Star, a planet-destroying weapon powered by Calkite. Luther knows this information can't get out, so he quickly kills his co-worker. He quickly runs to his assistant named Kelly and says, I found something and we need to leave right now. He tells Kelly to get the ship while he burns all the rebel information back at the antique shop. Right before leaving, Deborah walks into the shop. We see Luthen try to keep up the act, but Deborah knows who he is and wants to bring him in for questioning. Luthen knows there's no way out, so he decides to kill himself. However, his knife is dull and did not finish the job, leading us to watch Kellen finish the job while being shown flashback scenes. During these flashback scenes, we see their father and adopted daughter relationship play out, which destroys me emotionally like it always does. Ending with her unplugging the wires and us saying goodbye to the man that sacrificed everything for the cause. After Luthen's death, the Empire is in full panic mode, knowing that someone might know about the Death Star plans. However, Kellen found an old radio where she's able to contact Andor and KS-2O, which leads us to this satisfying scene with KS-2O. We are not done with satisfying scenes. We have the moment we all been waiting for. Deborah is finally facing consequences for her actions. After Cyril's death, Deborah of course dedicated her life to the Empire even harder, but this time she was sloppy. She did not tell her superiors that she found Luthen and went alone, blowing up the whole operation. Not only that, she had access to classified files talking about the Death Star through her personal device, which led to the information being leaked out in the first place. This all leads to Orson scolding her.
With the mindless decision to confront Luthen Rail on your own!
You make me sick, you big baby! Baby want a bottle? A big dirt bottle?
Eventually seeing her be put in jail. So satisfying. Andor gets Kellen back to Rebel base, but she doesn't know what Luthen found out. Andor needs to know what was so important. And in the last couple minutes of the show, we see Andor walking into Rogue One, where everyone we care about dies. That's a depressing way to end the show, and the creator knows it too. That's why the final shot is Binks holding Andor's baby, knowing all the sacrifices throughout the series would lead to the next generation to be free of the Empire. It's the best way to end such a beautiful, heartbreaking show. In conclusion, Season 2 is incredible. In fact, one of the episodes is now one of the top 10 episodes of all time, and I can't disagree with it. The only problem I had was how they treated Vale's love storyline. I just wish the creator stuck with the original vision of 5 seasons before shrinking it down to 2 seasons, because it's the best Star Wars ever, and I don't think we're ever going to have a show like this again. Going back to the original question of this video, did Andor make me love Star Wars again?
Did I?
Yes!
Yes!
Yes. It made me, a soul-sucking Star Wars fan's heart grow 3 sizes that day. Before Andor, I thought Star Wars was going to be added to the list of franchises that I've given up on. But Andor recaptured that Star Wars magic for me. However, I don't think Disney learned any lessons from Andor. While editing this video, the 2025 Emmy nominations have came out. Like it or not, these award shows do increase the amount of eyeballs on the show or movie. For example, I'm not the biggest fan of body horror. It's not my cup of tea. However, when The Substance was nominated last year for Oscars, me and Rynn checked it out, and it's one of my favorite movies of last year. The same case happened to me with Andor. I wasn't the biggest fan of how Disney was treating Star Wars. Then I saw Season 1 got a bunch of Emmy Awards, and I had to check it out. And to me, it's one of the best Star Wars shows ever. Now that Season 2 is also up for a bunch of Emmy Awards, how does Disney respond? Do they hire some of the writers from Andor and make a big announcement during Comic-Con or D23? Nope, we're just going to rely on Mandalorian and Ahsoka and not make any changes to how we're operating this IP. If you want things to improve, you must take action. For example, let's talk about DC and Marvel for a bit. DC movies have been made fun of online for years. You know what they did? They started a new universe under James Gunn, and they made an incredible Superman movie. leading to a lot of people to get excited for what's coming next for DC. The Marvel multiverse phase has been made fun of online for years now. However, they're trying to right the ship by retaining key creative talent. Thunderbolts is one of the best Marvel movies in years. So you know what they did? They hired the same writers to help out with the Fantastic Four movie, which finally broke the curse in giving us a good Fantastic Four movie. Plus, the Thunderbolt director is supposed to direct the next iteration of the X-Men. Both of these IPs are giving me hope for the future because they are actively trying to improve themselves, while Star Wars is still doing the same thing, making Andor feel like a fluke for a franchise that has lost its way. It just needs the correct creative team and stop playing so safe with nostalgia. If one of these 10,000 projects is actually real, allow the creative team to take risks. That is how you got Andor in the first place, a creative team that knew they had something special. Nothing brings me more joy than engaging with a piece of media and talking to a friend about how good it was. I want Star Wars to be included in those conversations again. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoy it, consider dropping a like or supporting me and Wordy on Patreon to see all these videos early. Either way, I'll see you guys in the next video.